Hello everyone, and welcome to the Stanley Parable. I am really excited for this after playing the demo in episode 1 of this series, and I have some understanding of how it works. I'm not spoiled on any of the actual plot developments or narration. What I do have is a list of the many possible endings, along with a very skeletal, bare-bones list of how to access them. So we're going to go through everything we can, experience them all. I'll divide the episodes into reasonable lengths, depending on how long each thing takes to get, and we will just experience all the wonderful storytelling this game has to offer together. So I think I've got my graphics set up working. Everything seems to be in order. Let's jump right in. Begin the game. The end is never the end. The end is never... but on the other hand, this isn't... This is a very nice break. A little departure between you are two. The first one we're
This
going
is
for?
the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on the desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Stanley
Something
Parable.
that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so the first ending we're going for is called the Freedom Ending. I believe this is the one. This is what happens if you actually listen to the narrator from the get-go. We're going to do that first. We'll look around, of course. 427. Can't quite read any of that. 428, 429, 430.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
431
Stanley decided to go to the
436.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
437. 424, 422. Yeah, just a lot of offices and cubicles. I hate Mondays.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Well, we'll do it.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
R.I.P. Franz. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Meeting room, floor 4XX. Group, Cabal, planning, meeting schedule, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Weekly targets admin, pranking floors meeting, mergers were broke Wednesday, termination Tuesdays, marketing Mondays. Office efficiency, financial panic meeting, 451's private time, legal, boss's inspection, ideas and development, what to do about 432, don't tell 432 about the meeting. Office party, pre-review of weekly review, 8 bird, this box is too small. Targets. Push for funding for R&D of new coffee machine. Standardized graphs 40x wide, not cost efficient, ongoing. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Synergize papers. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic of the future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Tomorrow. Complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day's agenda. Reflect. Employee 417, 491, 431, 405, 416, Jim. What are your dreams for the future? Talk radio, mitosis, charge, transcend nature, success, lunch, travel, metamorphosis, comatose, plant life, football, boat. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less, do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you, take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. This will ensure a calm and productive work environment. Everyone is unique. You most of all. I like it.
Stanley just stood there doing nothing at all. He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything.
Number of slides.
This is
on the
why
slide.
Stanley and I are on such good terms.
Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Number, slides. Please, no more charts. Please, I'm begging. Stop. The Boss Appreciation Minute. On your Boss Appreciation Minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill out in triplicate and return to your Boss Appreciation Specialist. Solving interpersonal conflict. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee, like yourself but more inclined toward conflict, unless you're the kind of person who initiates conflict, why did we hire you? What are your dreams for the future? Okay, the slides have started repeating. Anything on the desk? Or on the table, I mean? Can't read any of that. Bi-quarterly post-review review. A lot of percent. Space between them teenagers. Size of demographic, teenagers. We need more, less reviews. 402 and 405 want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule, but I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers, more water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Big net, some sort of child trap. Work harder, hard worker. Throw something in the ideas bin. 1. No more bins, trash cans. 2. Renaming of the ideas bin. 3. Firing of me. 4. Ideas bin. What do people want? Things. Happy feelings. Mike James, you are fired. Money. More money. Things. But with money to buy more things. Graphs. Graphs about things and money. We have our new product. The stock market is somewhere here. Colored in segments. Stripes. Requires more secondary research. Target demographic, teenagers. What is hot? Profits. To do. Synergize core value expenditures. Shift global market paradigm. Monetize free to play. Help, I'm a post-it. Quarterly pie chart profits. Nice. Broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Executive bathroom. Oh. Can't go in there, it seems.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Carte Blanche and Mont Blanc. I am the most expensive boss. Sewage Lilies by Claude Money.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Guess we just take this down. This seems like a good enough one to go for first.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
No reading material. Camera button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
All the
Each bore the
employees.
number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals was reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
The irony here is pretty delicious. I like it.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Wait a minute, is there an 8 button? I see 1 through 5. I don't see an 8. Pity that. 8. 8. 8. Oh, memories. Mind controls idle, awaiting input. Turn it off.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Turn it off.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine! Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
It's so pretty. Look outside.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin. The feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Alrighty. There's the freedom ending. The first one, the simplest one, the best one. Unlocked from the outset. 2 more in this episode. Oh, good, it brought us right back here. The next one's real simple. We can just close our office door.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
The end is never the end. That one is called the coward ending, if you're wondering. Here we go again.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
So, somewhere over here. We can crouch with control. One of these chairs is climbable. Might be this one. farted. I want to look at my mouse and keyboard keys. Duck is control. Maybe I just need to click. Maybe that's how I climb when I get to the right one. Aha, yes. So then we can get out this window.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Are you sick of this gag?
Well,
Yes.
I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like, right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Oh boy.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Very nice. I'm gonna wait till there's an actual repeat. Okay, time to reset. Begin the game again. The end is never the end. Alright, give me 1 second. Alright, we're going to do one more ending for this episode. We have seen Freedom, Coward, and Out of Bounds. We're going to get Countdown this time. Oh look, the office is different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
There's the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be?
This is different too.
In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 28. 4-5. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh, this is fun. I liked the out of bounds ending a lot.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
So to get the countdown ending, we go all the way to this point. Danger, electric shock risk. Turn it on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Loading mind control
Stanley,
systems.
I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley.
Oh, this is hilarious.
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice.
Oh.
Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
That one was good. That one was really good. Alright, that's a good one to end this episode on. So we're going to exit the game now. We've got several more endings to go for, but get a feel for it. This is not going to be a very lengthy playthrough, obviously. The whole series will probably just be a few episodes, but I am certainly enjoying the diversion, and I hope you are too. So until next time, this has been Let's Play the Stanley Parable, Episode 2. If you enjoyed it, I hope you'll give it a like and consider subbing to the channel. If you want to discuss this or any of my other content, the best place to do that is in my Discord server. That link is in the video description. And if you care to influence what gets played on the channel, if you want to support me, the best way apart from liking and subscribing is by becoming a Patreon supporter. That link is also in the video description. At this moment, I finished Mass Effect, that the finale, as this airs, the finale of Mass Effect will have aired yesterday. As I record this, I still don't know what the next Patreon game that's going to premiere tomorrow is. I don't know. But Game 3 is in the works, voting's underway. But if you want to get involved in that process, my Patreon supporters get to nominate and vote for games they would like to see me play. Once a game is chosen, I play it through to the end, and then I have them choose another. So if you want to get involved in that process, you have that option. But regardless, I really do want to thank you for watching. I'm very grateful for your time and attention. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. New Patreon game tomorrow, more Stanley Parable Friday. Bye-bye.